Well, today I'm going to talk about another visa subclass, which is 491. I already took 190 state nomination, so today I'm going to talk about skill or original provisional visa 491. We all know that it is a provisional 5-year visa to get your PR, but you have to live, work, and study whatever you want to do. You have to do at least 3 years, and if you have not satisfied this living, staying in 3 years in regional, then your visa will not be granted. 191 will not be granted. So please once you settle down in 491 in regional, don't skip out to satisfy those requirements. Well, that is the all you have to know about 491. So the basic eligibility is same as 190. You also need to satisfy the 491 basic eligibility criteria to meet up the 19491 is Victoria State Regional Sponsorship. So it is there's no much difference about 491 and 190 except it is regional based visa. So if you wanted to check out is like eligibility criteria, just go here. This is subsequent means if you have a family and if they want to apply once you granted visa, then they have to lodge a visa as a subsequent entrant, like your partner, your children, whoever left out because once because of some reason. So it is your main applicant, primary applicant eligibility. You have to see what is the eligibility criteria. Be invited to apply, be nominated or sponsor. Nominated means from state. Sponsor means your family also who have been living regional place. They also can sponsor you. But be the years you have to be 45 years under suitable skill assessment as in 190. You also have a suitable skill assessment means the subject or which occupation you have hold, that occupation should be like in home affairs skill assessment list, and it's also need to be positive and valid skill assessment. And then you also it is also valid in date. It should not be expired, be able minimum 65 point is very needed, but if you have more points, so definitely it is good for you. The minimum level of English is competent, but the higher English, right now the trend of invitation is going on higher and super English. If you have a super English, then even the same point that who has a competent English, you will get invited first. Then the made the skill requirement. The skill requirement means the eligible skill that I already told you that you have to check out your skill requirement here. What is your occupation? You just put in your occupation here. Then if it is here, then you are eligible. Otherwise, you are not eligible. So you will have to first check out you are really eligible or not. Microbiologist. Micro. I just put micro. It is enough or not? I'm not sure. Yeah, microbiologist, MTSL from betas, the skill assessment body. So you need to check out here if your occupation is really set out in home affairs occupation list or not. If it is not there, then you are just ruled, your occupation is ruled out, then you are no longer eligible. Character health, so the health criteria, the once you lodge the application, then they will ask to check out your health. There is minimum health criteria that you should have to meet up to grant this visa. Characters are requirement. Police clearance is needed last 10 years. And if you have some loan or something in Australia, any organization, then you also need to pay before to get lost this visa. And you have to sign the document that you are going to like follow the rule and regulation that is need to legally required to stay in Australia. And if you are really on onshore, your visa have not been cancelled or refused in while you are in Australia. So if you are offshore, that it is okay. It doesn't matter. So the next one is a 491 minimum criteria who can apply, like same living offshore. It is, or if you are onshore, then you have right. If you are already studying 500 student visa in regional is okay. If you are holding 485 and working regional is okay. But if you are not, if you're really living and working 485 and 500 student visa in Melbourne, you have to move out the regional place. Otherwise, you are not eligible. And the other one is that you have to be committed to live and work to living and working in the regional Victoria. And the one thing is that if you really want to apply to Victoria, then the registration of interest is very important. Once you get lost UI expression of interest, then the expression of interest ID should be placed in the registration of interest ID. Registration of interest, it is very, if you have not registered put in your application registered in interest, then you will be not invited. You have to be below 45 years, minimum competent English, that means is advanced 6 in IELTS, skill assessment, and your skill assessment should be done eligible skill assessment body, and your skill also occupation also eligible in which means your skill occupation is set out in Home Affairs skill occupation list. The minimum point is 65, but if you have a higher point, then it's good for you. Those how the process. First of all, check your eligibility, then submit your UI, then submit your ROI. The next thing is submit the application document, which is asked by the Melbourne. If you have Melbourne Ally portal, the Victoria. Then last one is submit your if they invited you, then submit your 491 visa. Further eligibility, nothing. If you are offshore, you just need to commit that to have to live at least 3 years in regional part of the Victoria. But if you are onshore, then you have two options. If you have work in eligible occupation like in school level 1, 2, 3, and then you have to show your earning, because if you have more earning and eligible occupation, then you shouldn't need to be same occupation but eligible occupation. I'm telling you to, then you will chance to get invited more. And the second thing is that if you don't have those things, then just put a zero in earning section. Otherwise, you have to also show residence requirement is very important. The like utility bills, bank transfer, and then other like driving license. You can show anything to prove that you are really living in regional part of Victoria, and otherwise you are no longer eligible to lodge ROI while you are onshore. So, uh, and the other thing is that while you are lodging, the ROI, you have minimum 12 weeks validity should be remain in your English document and the skill assessment document. Okay. The other one thing is that the minimum 65 point is then 15 point will you get you from the state. You don't. And the one thing what I really wanted to check out here is the minimum. This Bank Victoria proxy. It's okay. The other thing is that once you're ready, then you have to first your job is to put in your file SkillSelect UI through SkillSelect portal, and then you also need to hand in your application through the registration of interest in Melbourne Leave portal. And once you get invited, then you have to submit your file within 2 weeks. The time is here given here. You have to send if they ask any further document, then you have to send through email. They will provide you email. The minimum document passport and evidence of Victorian residence, and the Victorian bank statement minimum 6 months. That means you have to be live at least 6 months in the regional part, rental, lease, bills, driver license, and if you have really want to show that earning, then the most important paper is employment contract and the letter of offer, employment letter, pay slip, and then superannuation statement. And the other thing is the how much out the minimum days that you have get invited means you have to be response within 2 weeks once you get invited by Victoria. Otherwise your invitation is no longer valid, so you cannot apply, you cannot just claim the invitation. And if you promptly upload your file and documents, then it will be finalized within 20 days. So then you have like 2 months, that means 60 days to apply like towards a 491 visa. 60 days, that means. So once you have a, if you really prove back up your all the documents as you claim the points and residency employment, then your visa will be granted. And if you, but the waiting period is really long, it is minimum like 18 months to maximum 24 months, so around 2 years it will take. Then you have to live at least 3 years in regional part to claim the 191 permanent visa. So once you like move out from even the one address to another address, so you have to change, update your address in the email file, otherwise your visa will be cancelled. It's very sensitive. I can say this is a very address sensitive visa, we can say, because if you don't update your address, then you're very likely to get cancel your visa. So please remember that whenever you change your address, don't forget to update your address. Or if you are not lost visa, if your agent is lost your visa, then just inform them. And you also need to require to fill up the survey form, because you are signed up to do so. That is the minimum requirement you have to know about 491 visa. So if you, those who are really wanted to know about 491 visa, which is like one who really wanna stay in the Victoria, then this is a general information. So I think most of you are know about, will know about. I also write down your like this link, web link, so you can research here, as you know. So if you really like those information, you just like, comment and subscribe my channel.